So, how was your weekend? I hope it was lovely and you had a nice time. My weekend with sciatica turned into quite an interesting weekend. I've now lost all muscle control in my right bum cheek. Can't do anything with it. It's actually, if I stand and tense, I can't tense my right bum cheek, just completely dead. So that's something. The other thing was I ended up in accident and emergency at the weekend, being given liquid morphine to deal with the pain. So things have progressed since my last video. So my last video I was in a good amount of pain on the floor of a house. And it got worse and worse and worse until on Saturday I fell out of bed onto the floor, groaned a bit, took every painkiller I had, then just lay on the floor in my man cave, just holding on to my undercarriage and thinking, it's fine, it's just pain, I can deal with it. My wife then insists I call was the NHS 24. So you call that and for out of hours assistance if you're having any problems. And I call that and I'm thinking, not going to get anything. Usual, take some more painkillers, use a hot water bottle, stuff like that. And in the queue for 20 minutes of, that's dun, 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 dun. We're very sorry that you've been waiting. We realise you've been waiting for 20 minutes and you are in the queue. Do not hang up. So, all right, I'm still calling on. Finally, when somebody answers, they're like, okay, what's your problems? I go, sciatica pain in my glutes and now in new parts of my body and some other things. And they're like, oh, I think you should see somebody. And I'm like, oh great, yeah, I think I should see somebody too. So I get in the car, scream all the way to the hospital because I can't sit down in the car. I'm like, fuck, well, I shouldn't swear. Ouchie, driving literally window open because I was starting to sweat with the pain because it's just driving was horrendous. Still haven't been in the car since, so I don't know what it's like just now to sit for any period of time. Got into the hospital, saw the out of hours practice nurse. She took all the details. She saw the state I was in. She was like, we don't have an MRI scanner over the weekend. You might need to stay in overnight. And I'm like, oh, you think is that kind of an issue? She's like, yeah, what to do, come out of hours, go into that waiting room next door and we'll put you straight into A&E. And I'm like, A&E, people coming in with broken legs and dying of the plague kind of stuff. And I'm just like, no, it's just really a different pain. Can I just have something for it? Went in, the doctor came in and she's like, have you had any painkillers? And I'm like, not for about the last 4 hours. And she's like, hold on, I'll be back in a minute. Comes back with a bowl of pills. She's like, got paracetamol, codeine, diazepam, and in this syringe I've got some morphine. And I was like, not had that one before. Okay, so gobbled the pills and I'm like, what do I do with the syringe? She's like, just squirt it in your mouth. I'm like, oh, okay, squirt, that tastes interesting. Then I'm lying on the bed groaning in pain because I'm just like, because it literally felt like somebody just been kicking me right in the undercarriage. And I was like, this isn't right. And literally people coming in sounding like they're just like in a really bad state. And I'm just like, I'm just in pain, give me some painkillers. And it just wasn't kicking in. I was like crawling on the floor of the emergency room, just kind of going, I can't do anything. And the room came in and was like, oh, how are you doing? Oh, painkillers still not kicked in yet. I'll come back in 10 minutes. I'm like, okay. Just an absolute state. Then 10 minutes later, I was like, oh, I can stand. Oh, this is good. I can kind of walk with a limp. Okay, I'm up for this. Woman comes in, we have this discussion. She said, have you had an MRI scan? I'm like, no, my doctors have just palmed that off as a don't bother, it gives you false information idea. She's like, okay, I'll book you in for an MRI sometime this week, and I'll send a higher prescription of all the drugs that you're on to your pharmacy. So I was like, okay, cool. She's like, unfortunately, there's just nothing we can do. And with nerve pain, which is sciatica, none of the pain, we fully understand that the painkillers just have almost no effect with nerve pain. So I was just like, yeah, I know, but that morphine, that was the bomb. That really worked. And then I was like, oh, okay, I can walk. This is great. Got my car, drove home. And I was like, am I allowed to drive after taking morphine? But I think it was within the legal limit. I don't think there is a legal limit, because I Googled it. And in the UK, it's like, as long as you're not driving dangerously, you're fine. So I was like, okay, fine, cool. Got home. And even as I got home, I was like, get up there, going, oh, it still stings like hell. And so what's happened now is it's, my bum cheek is constantly firing off. It's just going beep, 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 beep. My calf is also going, so this feels like, imagine you've run up a mountain all on your tippy toes, or hopped up the mountain all on your tippy toe, and the calf is like full blown burning. And the bum cheek is just weird. It's dead. It's constantly just going, bill, bill, bill. Like I was lying in the bath, and there was a little bit like the bit from Jurassic Park where the water's still, the noise is ripple go along. It's just because my bum cheek just kind of goes, boom, just fires off. So there's clearly just things firing from the nerve, but I can't tense my bum and I can't straighten out my leg, and it's dead. It's really weird. So I thought, right, what else can I do? So I went and got my EMS machine, my electromuscular stimulating machine, stuck that in my bum cheek to see if having electrical stimulation from outside would have a counteractive effect on the signals going down the way. I don't know. And it's just given me what feels like an electrical burn on my bum. Fuck. Oh. Don't laugh and tilt your head there. So yeah, that's where it's at. So hopefully going to get an MRI scan sometime this week. Hopefully that'll give me a little bit more information of what's going on. But I'm going to try and speak to my GP about getting a dose of liquid morphine, so I'm not having to go to accident and emergency and waste their time when in excruciating pain. Yeah, just that was the weekend. Destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. After thinking that everything's been going so good. Just rubbish. But today's a bit better. Taking a lot more painkillers. And unable to stand in pain. Just constant pain. So yeah, week 19 now we're at, or something like that. Find out exactly what it is in the diary. But yeah, just interesting. Very, very, is moved from foot to back to bum cheeks to groin to now dead bum cheek, sore groin, killing calf. You know, when the NHS says, oh, I'll get better after about 8 weeks. No, you don't need a scan. It doesn't really show anything. I want a scan to find out if there's anything more than just a strained back. So yeah, sciatica. What a bar steward.